Okay, in my recording order, we're finally back to the meta stories, or the meta storyline. I've mixed up a bit and I've added an extra story we're going to talk about at the some point in the order of things, depending on how you're watching and where you're watching and what order. This one's talking about Meta's plan to blur barriers between APPLAB and Horizon Store to core Android app developers. So APPLAB is, I've seen it, I've not actually used it before. So, well, the article will say, so let's just read it and then we'll talk as we go. As I belch again. Wow, that was a big belch. I think the turkey mince is getting to me. As part of Meta's huge announcement today, the company says it's rebranding the Quest Store to the Meta Horizon Store. In doing so, the company plans to make it easier for developers to get their content onto the platform. As it stands today, the Quest Store only includes apps that Meta has allowed into the store on an individual basis. Then there's APPLAB, which acts like an unlisted store. I guess this kind of reminds me of what Xbox had, something like that, where you could, I don't know if they still have it, I don't think they do, but they had like a kind of a store thing. It was like Xbox Indies. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was like you could play games without, it was sort of checked by the community of other indies, but not by Microsoft themselves. It wouldn't put you in the actual proper store itself. So it kind of seems like a similar thing with APPLAB. So unlisted store, customers can buy and download content from APPLAB, but only if they know the exact name of the app or have a direct URL to the app's page. While Meta says its decision to gatekeep the main Quest Store was to keep app quality high, developers have long claimed that the process of getting an app into the Quest Store is opaque and burdensome. Now, if you're a developer watching this part, can you confirm if it is actually a pain to get your apps onto the Quest Store, the official store, if it is indeed opaque or burdensome? Or if you know someone that is a developer that said as much, that'd be interesting to know about. APPLAB isn't going away, but now the company says customers will at least have a way to browse APPLAB through the main Horizon Store, which is pretty cool, right? We're beginning the process of removing these barriers between the Meta Horizon Store and APPLAB, which lets any developer who meets basic technical and content requirements ship software on the platform. APPLAB titles will soon be featured in a dedicated section of the store and on all our devices, making them more discoverable to larger audiences, says Meta. Now, I've said before that it's not still, I think it's a little bit easier now, but it was hard to find the PC VR stuff on Quest at one point in their official store, because all the stuff was just Quest. So when it says Quest stuff, usually what they're talking about is the wireless headset stuff. They're kind of more mobile level stuff, visually, I mean. When it's PC VR or Quest Link, you're talking at the more Steam VR experience type of thing, a PC VR experience. It was kind of hard to find those things. And a lot of those things don't go on sale as often, actually, now I think about it, on the Quest itself. There is actively sales going on right now, by the way, at least in the UK side of things. I'm sure it's the same for the US as well. If the days haven't already passed, I think it's still got a few days at time of recording, depending on when this is out. This episode is being recorded. Should I date myself like this? No, 23rd of April, 2024, on a 11:25 p.m. cold night in the UK. So this is not exactly what developers want, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Meta also reaffirmed that it will allow apps from other platforms to be accessed through the Horizon Store, like Xbox Cloud Gaming for flat games and Steam Link for PC VR content. Now, that's pretty dope, right? And I guess that's what the interesting part of this whole thing is, that start to think about what you guys think about this. They got a picture here of like what looks like is how they're going to do it. Obviously, if you're listening at this point, this is useless to you, but for the viewing listeners, I guess you can see. Let me try and see if this looks like, yeah, it's APPLAB there on the right. So it has buttons here for those that are listening only. It shows the APPLAB in the mobile app. Maybe they did this in Figma or something. It shows on the main store page. What is that? That looks like the back one there is in the actual VR headset itself, where it shows home, fighting, games. Is that like fighting, like videos of people beating each other up, or games around fighting? Anyway, productivity, APPLAB, action, sports, adventure, Quest Plus, which is their Game Pass service, and then filter, and it's got a picture of a chick in the corner, profile picture. And there's the store itself, the website, games, apps, entertainment, mixed reality, Quest Plus, and APPLAB at the back. It's kind of giving you an idea of how it would look. As someone starts with a really loud ringing sound outside, that just freaked me out. I'm closing my damn window. Oh, it's the biker mice from Mars with their bells for some reason. I don't know why they're doing that for when I'm trying to record. Sons of bitches. All right, no, they're not bitches in case they're watching it. They're not sons of bitches. I don't want to get beaten up by a bunch of chicks, but they like to make noise whenever they come and like sing really badly. Almost as bad as my singing. Anyway, so that's the image there they're showing of how it actually looks, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of buttons there, but it's better than like having to go to a separate website, I would say. So let me know what you guys think about that. Meta also reaffirmed that it will allow apps from other platforms. I read that part already. And even though Meta Horizon OS is based on Android and can technically run side-loaded Android apps, before you guys mention your side-loading's cool, but it's not native, okay? I don't care how easy it is. You're not going to win on this. I will pee on you consensually. No, wait, that sounds really weird and creepy. Only if you're like a woman. But no, wait, I don't want to do that because that would be maybe like R. Kelly. I don't want to go to jail and shower with 100 naked dudes. Okay, let's just scratch yours. Let's get this. Remember to cut this out. All right. And just to cut this out of the recording. All right, good. All right. So, yeah. Meta clearly wants that. Wait, no, I skipped a bit. Even though Meta Horizon OS Android can technically run siloed Android apps, the Google Play Store is not available on Meta's headset. Meta still clearly wants that and is trying to signal that Google is the reason it hasn't happened yet. Wait, I thought it was the other way around. Why are they both playing hard to get? We encourage the Google Play 2D App Store to come to Meta Horizon OS, where it can operate with the same economic model it does on other platforms, says a representative of Meta. I added some bit in there. Meta says it's building a new spatial app framework to help Android app developers build and enhance their flat applications for XR. Now, when we hear the word spatial, you got to think of basically the Vision Pro in terms of spatial. That's what that typically means. So having flat apps be able to float and lock into places maybe while you're taking a dump or lying down, because you can lie down with your Quest now and do things. So that's good. Multitask while in bed. Crucially, the company says the framework will allow mobile app developers to use the tools they're already familiar with instead of learning a game engine like Unity, which powers the vast majority of immersive app on the platform. So there, you can apply for early access from Meta itself. There's a link. So that's a mouthful, a lot of stuff there. Take another swig of my hot lemon water, because Uncle Inti's voice gets dry when doing these podcasts, man. I'm telling you. Imagine if we did one of these live. It'd be out of control. You guys would be out of control. What do you guys think of this? You like the idea of having the AppLab and just a consolidation of all the different items and things that you can get and find them easily in the one place on the Meta store itself officially. And then thus, it should be easy to find the same things on all of the third parties that will be using the technology in one place as well, or at least be able to import it into their own library, their own storefronts. I think it's great. Personally, I've already complained. I already said in my review that it was kind of difficult to find certain things on the Quest device. Some things that are available on the website are harder to find on the headset, and then vice versa. And it's annoying having all these different websites on this stuff. And this is one step closer to making that less annoying and more logical and convenient for the consumer. So do you guys agree with that? Do you think it's a good move? Do you use AppLab? Do you like AppLab? And if you're a developer, do you want it to be easier for you to get on the actual official store itself? Share all your thoughts. I know I ask many of questions of you guys, but they're important questions. There's not much comments in this one. It's not necessarily because I'm early. It's probably because it's not as hot a story. So maybe this is a bit of a puffin. I don't know. But I think it's an interesting discussion point nonetheless. Or is it just puffing? I don't know. Say if you think it's just puffing. As I belched under my breath again. There's not really much good stuff here. I'm not even going to bother reading the comments. There's nothing there. Lily, share your thoughts on it.
Meta's strategy here is like a neon sign on the info highway, inviting, bright, and pointing to new possibilities. They're making it easier for developers to get their apps out there, and that's great news for all of us in the VR. More visibility for AppLab titles means we'll get our hands on cool content that could have easily slipped through the net. And let's not overlook the big play here, courting Android app developers. Plus, they're teasing us with the potential for Xbox Cloud Gaming and Steam Link access. Now, that's a crossover I'm here for. What are your thoughts, folks? Ready to see the walls come down and the virtual world expand?
We're continuing the segment of quiz of the week for the podcast. Get ready for the question from Lily. And remember, you can answer this question in our community post link that should be linked in the places wherever we can link it, because you can watch this in multiple places. I just don't know where you'll be watching, but if you're watching on YouTube, look for the places where links usually live and answer there or in the comments. Hit them with it, Lily.
This week's JustVRGaming podcast quiz is as follows. And by the way, process of elimination might help you with this one. Your question is, who is considered the father of virtual reality for his early work on head-mounted displays? Is it A, Palmer Luckey, B, John Carmack, C, Jaron Lanier, or D, Mark Zuckerberg, kaun o inorimasu VRers.
This segment from the JustVRGaming podcast is but a taste of the full episode available at justvrgaming.net/podcast.